my friends. Thinking about this life I provide for them. This world has some real things dividing them. My right hand, he's Muslim, I die for him. My road manager's drunk as hell at 5 p.m. I get knocked down, they help me rise again. Ref one lead the game, I ain't saying bye with him.
Jay, turn this shit the fuck up.
Don't care about my uncle, don't care about my uncle, don't care about my uncle. Yeah, take a peek, Richie Millie, no salt wax. Take a peek on your lips, goblin on my cup. Shit, don't care about no motherfucking wax. Nah, don't care about no high end thigh. Nah. Bitch, you just a high standard. Brandy your pajama, Gucci bunda, patty mama.
I just picked up something from Mercedes, it's a one-on-one. Black exterior, the one that I want. Red inside at the time of the month. Blood money, that's how I got this. Blood money, that's how I got this. We can vacation wherever we want, cause I don't care what none of my ops is. I told the promoter tonight, put me across from their section. We don't play patty cake, they just be letting us in, we don't do the inspection. I can't sleep at night with Thug at Cobb County Corrections. I think he did enough reflecting. I think my brother learned his lesson. It's all just a part of the game. We all gotta roll with protection. And just like the motherfucking judge, the hammers come out for objections. Nigga, what's up? 143 Rolexes in my collection. I put the horns on the front of the back, you know Drizzy gon' roll like a Texan. She textin', she love me, the Mexicans love me, I'm out here just making connections. And Junior boy rolling like Cinco de Mayo, he made her the fifth in possession. The way that I'm used to playing the politics, swear I could win the election. You niggas is overprotected with hoes, I'm already over the next one. I'm at 48 with Ty and Vino, we drunk, it's not even a question. These niggas trying to send a message, well leave that shit down at reception, hey.
Don't care about my uncle, don't care about my uncle, don't care about my uncle. Yeah, take a peek, Richie Millie, no salt wax. Take a peek on your lips, goblin on my cup. Shit, don't care about no motherfucking wax. Nah, don't care about no high end thigh. Nah. Bitch, you just a high standard. Brandy your pajama, Gucci bunda, patty mama.
I just picked up something from Mercedes, it's a one-on-one. Black exterior, the one that I want. Red inside at the time of the month. Blood money, that's how I got this. Blood money, that's how I got this. We can vacation wherever we want, cause I don't care what none of my ops is.
You hang around too many niggas that's pussy. You gotta be pussy. If it's on site, up your gun on me. All that mugging and looking. Yeah, niggas doing all that woofing. Pussy. 4L bomb shit. Walk inside the store, that switch in my armpit. I go wherever. I keep a Beretta and niggas ain't on shit. My art's together, but I don't discriminate. I got them both hit. Them niggas be lying. They niggas be dying and they'll never post shit. No rap cap come out my mouth. Made a couple songs, think he hot now. Hit his ass up, he think he pop now. Broad daylight, he got shot down. Chopper bullets make his ass hot round. Bloodshed, ain't no way to stop now. Going live to get your ass popped now. Seem like everybody wanna opt now. Leaving them flatline. Slaughter gang knife in the back, I'm on that time. Turn him to a hashtag. Make him a long live, niggas ain't my kind. Tried and true, I'ma pop mine. I was 17 with a Glock 9. I wanna see red, stop sign. I wanna see red, Clifford. She keep trying to rip out my zipper. I moved to LA, I'm a clipper. He think with his dick he a tricker. Get your bitch out the car before we blicker. We put an L tag on his car. He in Miami by Brickell. Say hello to the 4 nickel. I got a magazine, who got an issue? Giving out smoke. Pussy, my trigger finger broke. Don't try me like no hoe. I always let it blow. I pull up 5 scope. Nigga, we caught him by that stove. How much you wanna bet they ass won't stand right there no more? I'm Slaughter Gang OVO. $500,000 a show. But I still walk in with that pole. Idiot.
Hey, I'm feeling like 2 Chainz. Bitch, I'm 21, bitch, I'm not 22. Knocking off the name brand niggas in your crew. Heard you miss your dogs, now long live. Woo. Idiot. Yeah. Take heat, fuck these niggas up.
All right, guys, can you hear me well? Let me know in the chat. How's my voice and everything? Got some people here already. Let me know if the music is good, all that stuff. Gotta make sure. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, let me see here. Perfect. All right, let me start recording. Started recording. All right, well, thank you guys for joining today. I appreciate that. Let's look over some stuff. All right, so I'm gonna keep it simple for you guys today. The program is going to be one, we're gonna look over the macro stuff, what happened last week, what is gonna happen, what could happen in the coming week when it comes to macro, and as well we're gonna look at what happened in the last week for crypto and what we should look forward to. Now, after I go over that, I'm gonna do some charting for you guys. We're gonna do some Bitcoin charting, ETH, Sol, the pretty standard big three. After that, we'll look at what do you call it? Some micro caps, whatnot. Create a watch list similar to last week, because the watch list that we created last week, by the way, on stream, actually performed pretty well. So a lot of those alts that were there actually had moves happen throughout the week. So I mean, if it worked last week, why won't it work this week? Let's just give it another shot and see what happens. So I'm gonna pull out later on in the stream the 12 p.m. scan results, see which ones are there. We'll chart each one, make a watch list out of it, and then we'll keep an eye on them for the coming week. All right, guys, we'll keep it simple. And yeah, overall, let's talk about the macro stuff right now. All right, so what I'm seeing is like a lot of people are acting like the worst is over. That's what everyone assumed at the start of the week, and then near the end of the week we saw oil take a nice pump to roughly, I think, let me pull it out here. I think I want to say, yeah, we want 110. All right, so all eyes are on oil right now, and I'll talk about a little bit about that, what I'm looking for. But in general, yeah, we thought a lot of people thought the worst of the macro was over and it has already passed. But then we saw oil take a nice pump at the end of the week, and that's something to pay attention to, in my opinion. So what we are seeing now is the cracks are slowly are there. The cracks in the market are there. They're underneath, and we're blinded by it because, you know, we see the S&P making all-time highs and all that kind of stuff. So we're not really paying attention to it. Again, the price action, I just want to point out, the price action that we're seeing in the market is fully mimicking very similar price action to last year around this time, except the script has kind of flipped. So if I want to point something out to you guys fairly quickly. So if you guys recall, over here was April and whatnot of last year, and you guys saw we had a big pullback that ended in April, and then we went to new all-time highs. Whereas this time in April we made a new all-time high, and then when we compare it to BTC already at that time was on its way to making an all-time high. Like, the pullback was done for BTC before the S&P. So that's something to pay attention to. That it is mimicking similar to last year in terms of price action, but you can tell the S&P is front running BTC into making an all-time high, new all-time high. So again, we think the macro scare is over, but it really isn't. So let me go over that a little bit. So we had like, what do you call it? Let me pull it out here. So we are essentially, with the move with the S&P, it is trading, and the way it's moving is trading like the oil shock is done. But that's not the case. That's not how I'm looking at it. So the oil shock is actually, in my opinion, is not done. I mentioned before that I think oil is going to top around roughly in the summertime, and oil does have a tendency to actually pump in the summer. Um, so you guys can see here in 2022, summertime, it peaked, and that's pretty much what it does. Like even here, summertime. These are monthly candles. You guys can see summertime oil likes to take a little swim, right? So when I say swim, I mean it likes to go up, right? So in the what do you call it? We need to pay attention to that and understand that in the summer, oil has a tendency to go up. What I'm waiting for to see in oil is for the RSI to start peaking. I mentioned that a few streams ago. Once that oil starts peaking on the RSI and we're reaching those highs on the RSI, that's when it typically tops, and then we start seeing a pullback. But when we start seeing the oil pullback, it doesn't mean to go full risk onto the tits yet. Usually when it goes that signal to go risk on to the tits happens like a few 3-4 months after the topping of oil. So this is something to keep in mind, all right, when it comes to what the market is showing us. But you have to look at the market like a car and look at the engine. Is the engine as good as the body, right? The body looks good, but the engine might be shit. You could be having the body of a Ferrari but a Toyota Corolla engine, and eventually that's not gonna work, right? So this is what we're looking at, right? This is how I'm seeing the market at the moment. And what we need to understand, that move to oil above 120, while the Fed Reserve maintained the rates, we had the PCE inflation come in at 3.5%. While that PCE inflation came at 3.5%, many people didn't realize that manufacturing input costs hit a 4-year high. So manufacturing costs in the US hit a 4-year high. Now, when you have that type of setup, it is really, really reasonable that the Fed actually put rates at a halt and didn't cut or didn't hike, because the environment that we're seeing is not a clean cut setup or it's not a clean rate cut setup. It's not a soon rate cut setup either. So rate cuts is gonna take some time. This is something we just have to accept for the time being. The damage has been done by Trump and the war and all that stuff. So just as like damage done, it can be fixed. We just have to accept that there will be time. It will need time to be fixed. That's all it needs, right? With every problem, there's a solution. Doesn't mean the solution will happen immediately. All right. So when it came to FOMC, they did keep the rate the same, but the Fed, like I know everyone's like, oh, Trump put his guy in, and he has to do rate cuts. He's gonna listen to Trump. It's not gonna be that easy, because amongst them, the split decision on whether to keep the rates the same or rate hike or rate cut was more hawkish than dovish, which is not exactly what you want to see. So the market, in simple form, wants rate cuts, but the Federal Reserve, if you guys listen to Jerome Powell on FOMC, in general, they are getting less comfortable promising rate cuts. They're actually tiptoeing around that topic, and they don't want to say rate hike, but that as well, they don't want to promise rate cuts. So this is where things are slightly more hawkish than dovish, right? So the GDP report came out for the US, and it grew by 2% in quarter one. But when you want to look at it, the economy technically is still moving, but the spending and the growth of the GDP, the strength of that growth came from spending and investments outside of consumer spending. So yes, the GDP went up, but the GDP did not go up because the consumer is spending more. The GDP didn't go up because the consumer has more money in his pocket. The GDP went up because companies are spending more money. Companies are making more investments to combat this energy problem that we're facing. And we're seeing it with the inflation reports, data reports that have been coming out. Every single data report had the forecast, inflation forecast to go up higher. And obviously they manipulated all the inflation data reports to come just below the forecast to show that, hey, inflation did go up, but it's not as bad as, as the forecast is showing. Like, for example, the CPI report and whatnot came 0.1% below the forecast. And you guys know that type of data release was manipulated just to show that, hey, yeah, we did have inflation, it did go up, but it's not as bad as it is. Now there's another reason why the Fed cannot promise rate cuts yet, and that has to do with the labor market. So the labor market, in fact, did not show that it's getting weaker, which it showed actually that it was stable. And when the labor market is stable slightly, they're not going to do rate cuts. So until the labor market gets weaker, that's when they will start looking at rate cuts. And again, going back to the manufacturing, that is expanding, but as I said, is for the wrong reasons. It's really matching a lot of the COVID behavior, pandemic behavior, where it hit the 4-year high. But that has to do with more with the war that's going on, and they have to ship in more raw materials, and that's pushing the price of raw materials up. So those are the reasons why we saw growth in manufacturing that is expanding, is because they are stockpiling on raw materials just in case costs do continue to go up instead of going down, right? So underneath, again, looking underneath the hood, when it comes to manufacturing, this is more cost pressure type of situation, which will hurt their margins later, but it's not a healthy type of demand. This is a knee-jerk reaction. Now, the US is not talking about recession yet because the GDP came in good, but Europe is talking about a recession. This is something many people are not really focused on. So Europe GDP growth was only 0.1%. So they were very close to having a negative growth rate, but they posted 0.1%. And their inflation is at 3%, and it's up. So it's up. Their inflation has gone up in April, and in March the inflation was 2.6%. So yeah, their inflation did go up. And they did talk about, like, the the ECB policymaker did talk about that the recession concerns are real and justified. Europe as a combo has a really ugly combo of weak growth there because their economy is not growing, but the cost of everything is going up. So this is really, yeah, Europe is seeing a recession risk more than the US and North American economies at the moment. Japan, which is our favorite hero, is okay. Just to understand, Japan specifically is usually ultra dovish, and they're more on positive, optimistic type of thinkers and all that stuff. That's why they have rates always to be fairly low. Again, that has to do with a lot of issues that they had in the past, but not to go over that. But right now, Bank of Japan, they did keep the rates at the same. They didn't increase it. But keep in mind, they have 9 board members that decide the rate hike or rate halt or whatever. And 1/3 of their board members wanted a hike. 2/3 wanted to keep it the same. So yeah, they are more quietly turning hawkish. So expect at least one more rate hike from Bank of Japan in the summer. And as you guys know, I showed you last stream, when Bank of Japan does a rate hike, the market tumbles, the market tanks. So I'm expecting this rate hike from Bank of Japan is to happen in the summer. Okay, and that will be your risk off signal. They may try price it in beforehand, so be prepared for that. But again, going back to Europe, but this time to England. So in England, they kept rates the same. Again, you're looking at Canada, you're looking at America, you're looking at Japan, you're looking at England, you're looking at Europe. They all kept rates the same. This is why I said it's very easy to predict on the morning of FOMC what the rate, what they are going to do. So aside from looking at the CME data, usually like Bank of Japan, Bank of Canada do their rate decisions before the US by a day or the same day. And Bank of Canada pretty much just copy paste what America does. And it's like, okay, I know I'm Canadian, but I'll say this truthfully. In Canada, we are like the retarded little brother of America. What the big brother does, we will do. Simply put. So because when I saw the Bank of Canada leave rate hikes the same, I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much confirmed it with the CME data that rate hikes are not going up or down for FOMC. So this is something to keep in mind going forward when you guys are looking at FOMC data. All right, so this is just the basic overview of what happened and the last 7 days when it comes to the macro environment. So let's look at crypto. So I don't know if you guys pay attention, but Robinhood, their revenue dropped by 47% so they had their revenue drop to 134 million. They lost a shit ton of revenue. So that's your signal that retail is not there or retail is exhausted, right? So when this is telling us, okay, their revenue dropped, there is less altcoins to trade and find good setups. Retail is not fully there. They are tired. You can tell from the revenue. This is why you have to be more particular about what type of setups you take at this moment in this market condition, and actually be more risk adverse and like apply proper risk management, because at the moment you just want to compound gains and move the fuck on, because everything that you see is going to retrace back to what it started, if not lower. All right, so the first thing that happened was Robinhood's revenue dropped by 47%, which is not great. The other thing you need to understand is what I realized on CT is they're talking about there's no catalyst being built, right? And the truth is there are catalysts being built. It's just that these catalysts that are being built is something that we as crypto traders are not interested in. So for example, Standard Chartered, BlackRock, and OKX launched some framework for letting their institutional clients use BlackRock's tokenized short-term treasury funds as collateral on OKX, and the Standard Chartered will be the custodian. So what that tells me is this is a catalyst that they're building, and the serious money wants more yield bearing stuff that's relegated and whatnot, not like, you know, getting yields off Aave, which we saw what happened. They're not trusting that right now. So DeFi as a whole is changing. They are building the catalyst for DeFi in front of our face. It's just that we are not interested in it. It is fucking boring. So yeah, BlackRock is going to take over DeFi, believe it or not. That is more than likely going to be theirs to hold on to and capture. This is what BlackRock is focusing on and building right now with OKX. So this is a catalyst that's being built. Another catalyst that's being built is related to stable coins. So now we're seeing that they're pushing a major crypto bill in the US that's talking about stablecoin issuers and if crypto firms could offer rewards on stablecoins. So this is again related to yields, right? So that it doesn't mean that the bill is done. What this tells you is these are the catalysts that they are building, the narratives that they're building. One of the narratives that they're building for next cycle, and it's related to stable coins. It's related to treasury bills and whatnot. Bringing it onto crypto. This is all related to BlackRock, and why I'm focusing on it is because BlackRock last cycle was actually the catalyst driver for us that took us from 15k bottom to 125k. So BlackRock, again, what wouldn't surprise me is if you buy the BlackRock ETF, that they will somehow, some way figure out some type of financial product where you can use it as collateral and obtain a yield on it. That's probably down the road, way later in the road. So yeah, they are building catalysts. It's just like we're not interested in those catalysts because it's not related to Polymarket. It's not related to hyper liquid perp trading or meme coins or things that are in pump funds. So this shit is fucking boring, right? Now, the third catalyst, which probably flew over people's head. This is actually a really important catalyst that no one is paying attention to, and this is going to transform Bitcoin next cycle. This is actually probably gonna be one of the main catalysts that will drive Bitcoin forward into a new all-time high, and we're not paying attention to it. Well, when I say we, I mean CT, because CT is just, if you look at CT right now, CT is just a bunch of people fighting each other, talking shit to each other, and not really trading, not really looking for things to make money on, because a lot of people on CT have given up. But Mara 3 days ago said it will buy what do you call it, an energy company. They are planning to buy an energy company for 1.5 billion. All right, now they are mining Bitcoin. They are miners, major miners are now looking towards buying and building power and infrastructure companies. So they're not, what they're trying to do is, some miners are no longer just leveraged on Bitcoin, mining Bitcoin. They are transforming their Bitcoin mines into energy and data center businesses. So in the future, some of the biggest miners are going to be part of AI, indirectly part of the energy and data center industry. So Mara is going to be mining Bitcoin, and it's going to have its own energy and data center business. So this is a new catalyst, a new trend that could pop out in the future, where the major miners, Bitcoin miners, are not only going to mine Bitcoin with their infrastructure, but they are going to be leveraging their Bitcoin into energy and data centers. So they are going to indirectly dip their toes into the AI industry. And this is going to be a major catalyst, a major narrative I feel that we're going to see next cycle. And it's going to be a big reason as to why Bitcoin continues to rally and go up and whatnot. So many people don't know the big miners have to sell their Bitcoin to cover their cost. This can offset them selling their Bitcoin and turn their Bitcoin into holders, turn the Bitcoin that they mine into holding assets, while they generate revenue through their data center and energy infrastructure. All right. So this is a big catalyst in my opinion. So these are the things that happened in crypto over the last week. Another thing to keep in mind, this coming Friday, May 8th, we have the payrolls coming in, data. So you want to keep an eye on that roughly. As I said, this is related to labor market. So we want to understand, is the labor market really impacted or not? Okay. So these are important things. These are really important things that are happening right now. Okay. So the base case is that the market going forward is going to be stuck between growth is slowing versus inflation is too hot, which we'll see the rate cut narrative just go away. Things are going to get slowly more hawkish. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. And we're going to experience more chop down the line. All right. And the base case for crypto is, aside from altcoins and everything, I think BTC, with what Mara is doing and everything in the future, it's going to trade more and more like a macro asset in the future instead of being a pure crypto story. All right. So, and that means alts are going to be way more fragile during this period of time until retail comes back, which we are not seeing based on Robinhood's weak ass numbers, right? So the quiet shift, just to summarize it, the quiet shift that we're seeing in crypto is not something that's sexy, but crypto is getting more financialized at the top while staying weaker at the bottom. And the institutions are building around tokenized T-bills, custody, and rules, while retail is trading memes and bullshit. And the miners are moving into energy and infrastructure. So the next crypto leg may be led less by everyone is gambling to more who owns the rails, who owns the collateral, who owns the power. And we would need to look at that. So Bitcoin to $200,000 next cycle is probably not out of the question in my books, based if we continue going down this path of being more infrastructure related and obtaining data centers and all of that. So this is how certain miners are going to integrate Bitcoin into the AI industry indirectly, which to me is very fucking bullish, guys. Long term, this is fucking bullish. Okay, so this is what I have to say in terms of macro. Now let's look at some charts. Let's look at some charts here, guys. Give me a second. Okay, now before I go off, as I said, I'm waiting to see the peak and the RSI and the momentum peak for oil. That's when we top and start pulling back. Once that happens, that's your signal that we will bottom out soon. Okay, that's when it comes to oil. Now let's look at some BTC. We're starting off the monthly green, which is good. I think, as I said, guys, the pattern has been pretty standard for BTC, which is like the first 2 weeks of the month we have somewhat of an uptrend, and the last 2 weeks we just chop it up. So keep an eye, like the monthly is still not in the clear. We're still we just reclaimed the 34 EMA, but we're still sandwiched up around here. I still think we will, I want to lean on the side that we will break the 40k mark, but more importantly, I'm looking at this 49k on the weekly, and then the 100 MA on the week. And sorry, this is the monthly. My apologies. Now, when we look at the weekly, we have like fully reclaimed the 200 EMA, and we are. I feel like we're, as Pookie mentioned, that we do have a move possible to 94k, and that would sandwich us. That would allow us to hit the 50s on the weekly, but I think we would not break. I don't think we will break this. I don't think we'll even break the yearly high. Okay, remove the EMAs. I don't think we'll break the yearly high. A move to the yearly open is possible, and let's say we were here, a lot of people will be looking to short here, but at the same time, that's what a lot of people say, that we are looking to short here between the yearly open and the yearly high. The question that I have is, when that move, if we get a move like that, how many people are going to change their mind? Because the charts will look so fucking good to go higher that a lot of people, let's say they made that plan, are going to abandon that plan. Keep that in mind. So everyone may have the same idea, but everyone will trade the idea differently, and a lot of people are going to abandon this short idea because things will look very good. And for me, if I get this, I am gonna continue with that idea and give it a shot. Okay, because to me, the 4-year cycle did not get invalidated. That cycle was not invalidated for me. Okay, so removing this here, when we look at the 97, see, the 3-day just feels like it is really going to gap. Let me remove this here, like do a nice gap fill somewhere around here and reject. And the thing that's scary is when I look at the daily, we are building bearish divergences on the RSI, and we are kind of building it on the well, we're not building it on the awesome oscillator yet. So as you guys can see here, it's still making higher highs. What I'll be looking for is if we do decide to fill this gap around here on the daily, and we have nice bearish divergence on the RSI with a nice bearish divergence on the awesome oscillator, that is where I'll be taking the short. I'll be looking at the daily for it, and I'll be taking that short setup. Okay, but let's go down to the 4-hour. The 4-hour looks beautiful, not gonna lie. It looks like it has that move to break into the 80s. It really does. Like, we are fully respecting the trend properly. Remove these EMAs. You guys can see here on this low over here, we're still printing higher lows with higher highs. So I feel like we do have a move to the upside cooking right now. A part of me feels like we may see Sailor buy some more shit at the moment, and that's probably going to push us higher. And again, this pullback on 75k that happened last week on on Wednesday, was a nice SNR flip, which I talked about last stream, that you would want to see us flip the range high into support, which we did. Okay, now I don't want to see us pull back on the 4-hour to that level. I don't want us to revisit 75k again, because that won't be great. That won't be bullish. More than likely we will reclaim back into that range. So for me, for us to maintain, first we need to get the 4-hour above 79.5k and actually close above it, right? So have a higher high in some form. Okay, and now this is where I would want the 4-hour to hold between 77 to 77.5, something hold here. So if we go up and then we do a nice higher low, that'll be great. As long as that level is held, that'd be great, because I don't want to see this. Because last time we had this, we went up, we broke down. It wasn't great. So me personally, I don't want to see us revisit 75 and a half. I don't want to revisit the range high. Let me make this clear. Range high so people understand. I want to see the 4-hour hold 77 to 77.5K on BTC. Okay. Now, when we're looking on the 12-hour, the 12-hour is the range high support for me. The 12-hour is printing higher highs compared to the 4-hour. Okay, so the range high is the 12-hour support for me. I want to see it hold, and I don't want to see us close below this. Okay, just have it maintain the range high. That'll be great. As long as we work here, it's fine, and we maintain a close above this low. That's what counts. So we can go here, that's fine on the 12-hour. When we pull out the EMAs and whatnot, that is the 200 on the 12-hour. When we pull it here, we see here the EMAs. This is where it needs to hold. We have the hundreds on the 100, the 89 and the 50s, and the 4-hour support for the 4-hour EMA. So this is where we want to see support kick in. All right, and at the moment, the 12 hours on the EMA is showing that we are closing above the 300, and you can see here how it's coiling up. It's showing the, let me remove some of these so it's easier to read. Let me remove the 20. Let me see what else I don't need here. Okay. You guys can see here, I'm talking about the 1321.34. It's holding nicely on the 12-hour, and it's coiling. It went above the 200. And we're not paying attention. A lot of people are not paying attention to this, but we had a SMA golden cross here, and what we're seeing here is an EMA golden cross happen on the 12-hour. Okay, so the 12-hour is slowly turning bullish, showing that the trend is flipping. Okay, now for me, the daily, I don't want to lose the EMAs on the daily. So for me, the 50 and the 100, the 50 SMA and the 100 SMA on the daily is where I would put the daily support. Okay, just to make it clear for you guys, this is where I essentially want the daily to hold. Okay, for BTC, we have the 50 MA and the 100 MA. On the range high for the 12-hour, we have the 200 EMA. On the 4-hour, EMAs and MAs, we have the hundreds, the 50s, and everything just coiled up together, including the 1321.34. So this is where you would want to see it hold support. Okay, but ultimately, I feel like the move to 83K, which is going to happen. Okay, this was previous support, this is the 3-day resistance, and I think we will see us, we're right there, we're a spitball away. The one thing that people are worried about is this, right? This was the point of breakdown in January that led us to 60K, and now we are hovering and chopping around that point of breakdown. So this is something that's really important. We need to break out of it and go to 83K from here. It's really important. That's why we have the support levels really tight around this point of breakdown, as you guys can see here. All right. So this is pretty much simple what my BTC plan is. For me, on the short term, it still looks decent. Still looks like it has room to go up. So I think the move to the 80s is there. And I think we should see it in May. Everything is moving slowly, but that's just the plan. You can't get chopped up. Okay? So this is BTC. Let's look at ETH. ETH, as I said, looks better than Solana. Again, just holding so much better. Looks so clean, honestly. Even when I look at this, when I break it, like, I want to show you guys something on the daily. All right. So this pattern usually leads to a break to the upside. And I told you guys, you got, when you have patterns like this, you get a deviation above the channel, then here it leads to a break. All right. When you have a move up and then chop like this, it leads to the upside. Now, ETH has multiple patterns going on with it. So we have this channel in a way being cooked. Sorry, I used to being cooked within this. So we have this bearish pattern that's cooking, but inside of it, when you look at the micro movement, it is hitting kind of a bullish pattern at the same time. So I think ETH has one more, I want to say one more leg, and I don't see it. I see like 2700, that hasn't changed. 2700 being the place where it really struggles, and that was the previous, as you guys can see here, I spoke about this, that was the previous support level before we had this point of breakdown. Okay. Now on the 4-hour, what do I want to see? One, I want to see ETH start reclaiming the range high on the 4-hour, which is $23.50. Okay, as you guys can see here, this was the range high. We did a little chop, we came down below it. Now it's time to reclaim it for the move to 2700. That's what I'm waiting to see. Okay, it's not like BTC, it's not as bad as Sol, but this is actually the level you want to see ETH reclaim on the 4-hour. When we put the EMAs and whatnot, this was a very clean retest to the 200s on the 4-hour for ETH on Wednesday, and that was obviously, like, we saw some people bid it in the group chat. It was phenomenal. I think Sukuna took a long here, made some good profit. That's really good. It's, bro, you just have to be consistent and show up. P Manny, that's a flag pattern. Yeah, that is a flag pattern. It's like a flag pattern within a flag pattern, right? So this is how I'm seeing it. I do think ETH will reclaim this for the range high, the 4-hour level, because it has reclaimed the 4-hour trend. All right, that was a very clean pullback, very clean pullback. Okay, now ETH on the 12-hour, it's not like BTC. where BTC has fully reclaimed the 200s and the 312 hour. ETH is struggling to reclaim that 200 EMA, right? But it is as well did a golden cross on the SMA, but not on the EMA, not like BTC. So keep that in mind. Okay, so for me, the 12 will be the 12-hour support that I want to see hold would be the 200 MA. Okay. So this is the 4-hour that needs to be reclaimed. This is the 12-hour that needs to be held on ETH. And ETH as well has the support level did not change much on the daily. 2100. Okay. Now the 12-hour support is right there for me, which matches up with the 50s and the 100s on the daily. But why did I put the support level here? Just looking at price action wise, it would still maintain the structure of forming a higher low. So this is why I have 2100 as the daily support that I want to see hold. So at least indicators aside, we put that on the side for the time being, and just looking at the price action, we would have what do you call it, a nice higher low structure. So if we do here, and let's say it bounces off here, we can expect a nice continuation if we get to that support level. Okay, so ETH levels slightly changed from the previous week, but the structure is still, like, honestly still nice, like especially this pattern here. Even if we can come down to the 12-hour support, still maintain the structure and build the move up to break out of that flag. Okay, so this is how I'm looking at ETH, and I've been saying for the last few weeks, guys, if there's an altcoin you want to long from the majors, I would do ETH over Solana, and over the last few weeks, ETH has outperformed Solana. Now, look at the difference in structure. Sol is a real slow cook at the moment. Really slow cook. And we really needed to start closing, like, again, this was, I keep saying we need to get above 91. I think now it may play catch up. Sol has been just sitting there, whatnot, not doing much, but now we need to see it take a move, make a move, get above $91, get above the range high like here back in March, and still hasn't. It keeps rejecting that 90 to 92 range, whatever, closing below. But I think now we're starting to see an actual move, because, and again, looking at daily, it is slow. We are starting to form a little bit of higher lows. Now we need to start forming higher highs. So if anything, Sol is known to print very strong candles, and I don't think we have seen it just chill in a range like this for a very long time. But I think Sol, even though it looks like shit, there's a chance that it will play catch up to ETH and BTC, especially if we get that daily close above 91. Then we can start looking at a move to like 105 and whatnot, 105 to 120 on Solana, right? So looking at the 4-hour, the 4-hour trend, when I look at it, and this happens every week when we come to Solana, where there's no 4-hour trend like ETH and BTC has, where it's very clean to read. The pullbacks are very clean and all that stuff. So Sol needs some catalyst where some, you know, someone comes in and fucking just buys a fuck ton. Like, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to be the case at the moment. So first things first, for Sol, we need to reclaim that 4-hour trend, which is roughly just between 85, like let's say $86, right? We need to reclaim this 4-hour trend on Sol. That's the wrong one. And hopefully we can maintain these lows on the 12-hour. 81 bucks. This will, if we maintain 81 bucks on the 12-hour, at least we are maintaining the higher low structure. So we have to be on the lookout. Okay, is the 4-hour gonna reclaim the trend and close above it? Good. That is your signal that we're gonna go to the daily resistance. If we don't and we hold the 12-hour support, that's your long signal to go there as well. So these are your two triggers. Either this is reclaimed and you ride this, or this is reclaimed and you at least ride the bottom half gap, potentially the top half gap, right? Otherwise, if these levels are not held, we are looking at revisiting the range lows, which is below 80 bucks, which I really don't think we will hold, right? So this was the point of breakdown for Solana right here. We need to, and over here too. So this is where, if we close above daily, where I think you can see a move to this area, this supply area, and you should be looking to take profit. And that area I mentioned lines up with the daily 200s. Again, if we do get this gap fill, that, in my opinion, and you had a long on Solana, that is your area to close your long, in my opinion, and enjoy your profit. All right. Now, this zone that I just marked on the daily lines up with the 3-day resistance. As you guys can see here on the 3-day chart. Okay. Now, I've gone over Solana, I've gone over BTC, I've gone over ETH. Let's see here. Okay, now I don't know why this won't load. Okay, either way, fuck it. Let's look at funding rates. Funding rates overall are still negative for BTC and ETH. Binance, by the way, switched to positive, so keep that in mind. Sol as well is now positive, so now we're seeing more longs get piled in. So yeah, the funding rate on Binance has flipped positive, but overall it's still negative. When we look at the greater picture, it's still negative, and this is why I think we are more into a short squeeze type of scenario where they're going to fuck the shorts up a little bit more before they taking all their money, and then they're gonna take all the people's money that went long and fuck them over. But overall, there's like some smaller exchanges, like Bing, Gate, all these KuCoin, BitGet, whatever. These are much smaller exchanges to Binance in terms of open interest, and they are negative, so that's where the funding is bringing it down. But Bybit, ETH as negative, so Bybit has some majors in the negative, but Bybit has positive BTC, and so is Binance. So keep that in mind. So even though I'm expecting up, it's not going to be clear cut up, because now we're seeing more longs pile in. compared to before. Okay, now let's look at the CME watch. So if you guys recall, this is why I like to review it every week. If you guys recall, last week in June, they didn't have rate cut at all. They were only showing rate halt or rate hike. And now after the last FOMC, people has switched to 7% rate cut, 93% rate halt. All right, so now rate cuts are slowly coming back into the mix, and we pretty much don't have a high chance of a rate cut until late this year or early next year. So, but let's take it month by month. The next FOMC, all that stuff is happening in middle of June. So we got a month and a half of no Federal Reserve bullshit. Okay. Now let's go back here. Let's look at some alts. Give me a second. Pulling out the report. If you, by the way, if you guys have any questions, like, don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my best to review it all. All right, let's look at the coins that showed up on today's scanner report for 12 p.m. First one on the list. Again, this is a different one than that's being posted in the group chat. I'm using the production. Look at Blue AI. It keeps popping up, guys. It keeps popping up. This is in a full bull trend. You're gonna find alts like this all the time. All right. Let me just tell you this. If Bull AI flips this level, it's going to the all-time high. But right now, again, a lot of people are not paying attention because they look at BTC only, and BTC is not doing well, so there's no alts to trade. Wrong. There's always something to trade. You just have to look for it. See the 4-hour, 12-hour, daily, even the 3-day, all that on Bull AI. It's a new coin that came out in November, is turning as officially in a bull trend. Okay, so we want to keep an eye on this. Even the awesome oscillator shows that there's still momentum. So what do? We add it to the watch list. This is going to the stream watch list to the top. Okay. Over market pulse. Okay, I'll fix that later. I will probably move the market pulse all the way to the bottom left. But the ticker is Blue AI. Let me look at the next one. And by the way, I'm gonna post this watch list in the channel, this my Telegram channel, for you guys to have like a list of it. Okay, let's look at Tau on the daily. So Tau on the daily did a golden cross on the SMA. It's still struggling to it's almost there to reclaim the full daily trend. By the way, it's almost there. We have It rejected the weekly 200s, as you guys can see here, but has reclaimed the 12-hour trend, reclaimed the 4-hour trend. There are some bearish divergences on it. It is something to pay attention to. There is even some bearish divergences, like you can see the momentum is slowing down on the hourly, like lower time frame. But this is what I call a sandwich setup, and at times it has led to a break to the upside. So Tau to like these range highs that have struggled with resistance, which was, you can say, between 450 to 550, it could happen. It could happen based on this chart setup. So Tau is being added to the watch list. Okay, so who do we have here? Blue AI, Tau. What else? This one keeps showing up, even showed up last week, guys. Look at it. It rejected the all-time high. This is very, very clean chop, bullish chop. It's called Gwei. It's ETH gas, so it's pretty gay. All right, even the 3-day trend is pretty clean on it. Let me see here. What are we looking at? 200 million market cap, decent open interest, spot volume is all right. Future, so it's slowing down a little bit, but again, this has a potential to do a blow off the top move. This feels like it's cooking a blow off the top move, so I'm adding it to the watch list because this feels like it has one last strong leg up to the upside before it changes its trend. So I'm adding Gwei to the watch list. Okay, let me remove this and remove this. Again, this may be something to trade. Now, removing all of the MAs, this is the range. Reclaim this all-time high and we go back into price discovery. Okay, and once we go into price discovery, this will shoot up. This will form its blow off the top type of move. So you want to add this to the watch list. This is, by the way, guys, what I'm showing you is how you can use the scanner every single day when you want to trade to form a watch list, keep them there and all that stuff, and you just have to maintain this watch list over time. All right, at least it makes it easier for you. Now AKT, this has been on a strong downtrend for a couple of years. It is rejecting the 34 EMA and the 100 MA on the 3-day. It's on the 300 on the daily. Okay, this one is at resistance. Okay, this one's at resistance, but essentially what you want to see is we flip the 300 on the daily, at least maintain a support to build the move to $1. So this move, roughly just over $1, would be a decent move, and you'll play it safe. It'll be like a 50% move you can catch on it, but you just have to be patient because right now we're right at resistance. So this is not something you want to just blindly long right now, even though the 4-hour shows like it could go up, but you can easily potentially get a nice pullback on it, or if you want to take the risk, if you're trading it on the hourly, all right, you can take the risk and trade it and go long here. But if you start closing below 61 cents, like these lows, that's your sign to get the fuck out of this one. So if you want to trade on the lower time frame, but and you're thinking that okay, this one maybe is going to break its daily resistance level and actually make the move to $1 something, to $1, yeah, this may be the place to take the long. But this is where I would put my stop, because I don't want it to go below the pullback. Otherwise, we are probably going to retrace it somewhere to like the 54 cents range, right? So you're going to be even kind of like a 10% drop, which you don't want to be doing. All right. Do I want to add this to the watch list? Yeah, I'll add it to the watch list just to keep an eye on it. And look, if you don't want, you can add an alarm here. So I just added an alarm. So if it crosses the daily resistance, I'm going to be alerted just from here, the side panel. Okay. I know you guys can't see the tickers right now. Give me a second here. Symbol info. Can I visual? No. Let's see here. No. Scale, visual order. Okay. Look, everything that I'm gonna do, you're gonna see the tickers here. I'm gonna go one by one, and you're gonna see them on my right side. You're gonna see all the tickers here. This is AKT. I'm going to remove the market pulse for you guys for next stream, but you guys are gonna see everything here. And I'm gonna take a screenshot of it and put it in the Telegram chat. The Telegram chat, you can join it. It's in the links of my channel. Just join the channel. All right. Let's look at Ruin. This one is close to resistance. You may catch like a small 10% move on it. 10 to 20% move on it. It is on the 4-hour. You got this. So with this channel, yeah, this would channel into the daily resistance and probably pull back. For me, this is too small of a move. I'm not looking to, I'm not leverage trading to find, small moves in market conditions like this, when the market condition is showing us there's like 20+% move to catch every day. So I'm not adding a ruin to the list. Zen is pumping. It's looking like it because of Zcash. There is bullish divergences on the weekly chart. So this one, if it plays out, you may catch a nice 100% move, because this is pretty much in transition. But I would actually wait for the pullback on this one. You may catch it a little bit below, like in the low $6. I don't want to blindly ape into it just yet. There is a bearish divergence forming on the 4-hour, but this one is not bad. It's not bad, because if the Zcash narrative picks up again, Zen will be the beta play that everyone will look to long to catch, because they miss Zcash. So Zen, ZEN. If you want to add it, you can. I'm gonna add it just to keep track of it. I've been seeing it quite a bit show up on the scanner. Mug. So this one has been showing up quite a bit. I think the 4-hour looks good on it, but there is definitely daily resistance to it. There is a potential that Mug will make a move to like give us 100% type of move to the like 25 to 30 cents. Look at the daily. Now, I don't know if you guys been paying attention, but Mug has been getting quite a bit of attention lately, by the way. So they released some new sunglasses with a company called Pit Viper, which is a pretty big company, by the way. They made their own custom mug glasses and they got sold out instantly. And then you had Sam Altman, who changed his name to Sam Mogman, and then he put a picture of him wearing Pit Vipers as his PFP on Twitter. So ironically, I'm adding Mug just because it just reclaimed the 4-hour trend, and this move can actually lead to a bigger move if more catalyst pull up for it. But I think we could see a nice move on it. So for me, I'm adding Mug to the stream watch list. Okay. By the way, if you guys actually saw the Pit Vipers that they made, they looked fucking dope. I wear Pit Vipers because I helped create that meme for Solana back in 2021, and it was fun, really fun time and good vibes. But now it's completely taken over in a whole different level, so I like it. Do you read the chat? Yeah, I read the chat. So if you have anything in the chat you want to ask me, just put in the chat. I'll look it up. All right. So I'm adding Mug to the watch list. Elsa. This one is pretty damn interesting. Look. Adding it to the watch list. All right. I'm adding Elsa to the watch list. This is a new coin that launched in end of January. It still hasn't seen an uptrend. It is right on the daily 200. Reclaimed the 12-hour 200s. 4-hour trend is there. Let me pull up Elsa. What the fuck is... I don't even know what... By the way, I don't know what the fuck Elsa does. Nor do I give a shit. The less I know, the better I fuck. You know? That's my saying. The less I know, the better I fuck. So this is why Elsa market cap is 20 mil. Not even 20 mil. 5 million. 5 million open interest. Not bad at all. Spot volume is there. Futures volume is higher than its fucking market cap. Increase in the open interest and volume by a lot across the board. This may be the next like scam pump that Binance is cooking. I am adding it to the watch list. I don't even know what it does. I don't want to know what it does. If you guys tell me what Elsa does, I will ban you. I don't want to know. The chart looks good. That's all I need to know. All right. So Elsa, I'm adding it to the watch list. Those were the tier 1 setups that showed up. Now let's look at the tier 2 setups. Tier 2 setups. XVG. I'm not answering how much crypto I have. Like that's just the retarded question to ask. All right, I'm not answering that question. XVG is another beta play. It's very early, So funny story. XVG, I don't know if you guys know, it's a 2017 coin that did extremely fucking well. It was actually one of the best coins in 2017. You could have bought fractions of a penny, literally fractions of a penny on it. Your $1,000 on XVG back in the day would have made you fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's how insane it was. And they had some sponsorship done with browsers or some shit where you can get like a browser's membership, but it's very early in the setup. It's still in transition. So if this is your thing, you know, you can add it to the watch list. For me, if I was to trade this, I would wait for a reclaim of this wick, and then I'll look to trade it. But other than that, you are pretty much entering very early, and you're betting that the trend will shift from here. So for me, that's the thing about T2 setups. They're very early, and it's up to your discretion how you want to take them. So for me, I don't like XVG. I'm not taking it. Next on the list is a Aster, I guess. This, it's not Aster, but it's Aster at the same time. So what? Let me see what this one. 72 million market cap, 10% is open interest. Not bad. Pretty much all the circulating volume is there. So this one is right on 12-hour resistance. 4-hour is reclaimed. You're pretty much hoping to play the gap fill to the daily 200s, which you could catch a nice move on it if it plays out right. You're looking at a 40% move. I would put a stop just below this wick if you want to trade this. But me personally, this is not really my cup of tea. Yeah, I mean, you'll still catch a nice move on it. I'm not saying you won't, but I feel like there are better opportunities to allocate your money to. So I'm not taking this one. Cake. This is Binance's Uniswap. Very early. Just finished reclaiming the 4-hour. I mean, this is something you could potentially scalp, but again, if I see like $1.45 or something hold, you could potentially move, catch a move to the top. But again, for me, I'm not gonna add this to the watch list because I want to allocate my trades better, find better setups. TUT. Yeah. This was the 10-10 wick. It is trying to reclaim the 12-hour trend. It has this is a nice chop on the 4-hour, so it feels like it's going to make a new high. But when you look at the daily, you probably like this is where you'll get you'll have to TP. So the move you're gonna catch might not be worth the risk to reward, in my opinion, unless something, I don't know what the fuck this does. TUT tutorial, 10 million market cap. It's so, what the fuck? Yeah, this is a real shit coin, real low cap. If you want to add it to the watch list, that's completely your choice, but you can catch potentially a nice move on it between, let's just say, like 40% move, but you would have to put a stop below the 200s. You're looking at it like a 10% stop to catch, yeah, like a 3-hour trade, give or take. Okay, this one is called Broccoli. It is Binance's meme coin. They've been scamming this shit. By the way, I'm not adding TUT to the watch list, just letting you know. This is very early, and this one they might scam pump because look at the momentum. Selling momentum is shrinking to non-existent. Pretty much bullish divergences printing while it's making lower lows. Reclaim the 200s. So this has potential to fill the gap somewhat. There's like a potential 50% move on here, and you can just put a stop right below the daily 50s 50 MA. So this one, if you want to trade it, yeah, it's worth adding to the watch list because you are so close to the invalidation point that if it is the bottom, you can catch a nice 50% move, give or take, and your stop is actually very, very tight. So it's not something to actually compared to the other one, TUT. This is different in my opinion. All right, these are the T2 early setups. Now FHE, this one, double top here with the bear divergence. Yeah, this one might have had the pullback already where you just bid, and you're again, it's really close to invalidation. I don't even know what it does. Kind of a double bottom, well, triple bottom here, right? So yeah, this one, if you can manage your risk with it, you can catch somewhat of a 200, potentially a 100 to 200% move on it. FHE, right? You just have to manage your risk and make sure you don't close below the low. Have a what do you call it? A stop below the low, that October 10th wick, December bottom, and the recent April bottom. Other than that, there's potential for it to go to 5 cents from here. Yeah, which will be the daily 200s and the 300 and whatnot. Even, yeah, there's a lot of like the 12-hour and the daily EMAs kind of line up in a way because the structure of the chart is pretty fucked up. But this one, if is kind of a, I don't want to say risky, they're all risky, but you can add this one to the watch list. Let's see here. Aloe keeps popping up, by the way. On the 3-day, it's trying to flip the 13, 21, 34 into a bullish trend. It is sitting, chopping right on these EMAs and whatnot. Like, let me see the Binance chart. This one. I'll have more data. Yeah. So here's the thing, Aloe has definitely potential because it's respecting these EMAs properly and is trying to build a trend. If it starts breaking out, we're looking at, okay, first we want to get over this wick, which is the range high. If we get there, we gap fill to 26 27 cents. If we flip this 26 27 cents, we are looking at a move to 80. So like this type of setup, if you have the patience and everything and it works out, and these EMAs and MAs are held well and everything, you're looking at potentially an 8x, catching an 8x move if you have the patience for it. Let's see the stats. What's showing for the stats? Spot volume. Okay. The volume is shrinking, but it's still high. There could be people getting the fuck out. Market cap is still fairly low. So yeah, keep an eye on Aloe. There could be has the potential of a scam pump. When you zoom in, you can see here how the 1321.34 has turned bullish, respecting the trend, and we're just waiting for the 50 EMA to cross above the 200, and we have a golden cross on the daily. Just like what happened on the 12-hour, we have the golden cross. Yeah, we have golden cross. Now we're just waiting for the daily golden cross to happen. So yeah, I'm adding this one to the watch list. KNC. This one's trying to break out. Kyber Network. This one got hacked hard, I think last year. Let's see here. There is. Damn, there's a lot of futures volume for it. And funding is extremely negative on it, by the way. Funding is really, really negative. We're talking about negative 0.33. Very high. So this one has like some crime getting cooked up for it. So Kyber added to the watch list for the potential crime setup, because their funding rate is really negative. They're building shorts for some reason, a lot. Spot volume is insanely high. The spot volume is higher than its market cap. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Let's see what else. TST. Okay. TST. Right on the daily resistance. Trying to break out of this channel on the weekly, but is struggling. What is TST? Stats are test. Okay, it's called test. This is insane. Look at that volume, more than market cap. Wow. So this project is called Test. Maybe they're test scamming it. I don't know. But it's right on the daily resistance and the channel resistance, as you guys can see here. But this one has the potential of a scam pump. Very, very low market cap. 14 mil. All right. So I went through the scanner, 12 p.m. This is what showed up. There's some, like this one was on last week. And honestly has been cooking. Look at the daily on it. Like this pullback, everyone got faked out by it, but look. It was a pretty clean pullback to flip the flip resistance into support. Now we want to see it, the daily showing that it has potential to continue running. All right. Like this is a very, very clean chart. Now, if we can get Nauris above 16 cents on the weekly, this shit is going to pop. And I think it could go from 12 cents to 30 cents, give or take, from here. All right. It's all about, at this point, what do you call it? getting above that weekly wick of 16 cents. That's where the struggle is. That's where the resistance is. But the daily trend is showing that it has potential to break above it. Tria as well had a good daily close, by the way. I'm keeping an eye on it. Even though it's retracing, this resistance level is a real bitch, as you guys can see here. Keep an eye on how this daily closes for this one, because the pullback on it is still a new coin, but the pullback on it might be worth bidding. See, they're bidding like there's a lot of volume on it, or a lot of open interest, even though it's gone down a little bit. But this one keeps popping up on the scanner. Well, some days it does, some days it doesn't. So might be worth keeping a track out on it. Okay. But yeah, that daily close that we had yesterday was not bad. Today's daily is not great. Doesn't look good because it tapped the range high and it instantly sold off. So we need a strong push on Tria on the next. I guess if it pulled back here, next pullback, it needs to actually go for a new all-time high. Otherwise, this one's cooked. But I still have it on the watch list, to be honest with you, because the stats and the chart is not bad at all. All right, let me see some of your comments here. One second. Chill guy. It's right on the daily resistance and potential bear dev. Yeah. I mean, the 4-hour looks clean. And reclaim the 12-hour. It's the only issue is the daily. Like, cause right now, if you want to go into chill guy, you are essentially bidding the daily resistance and hoping that we break the daily resistance to go into like 3 cents or whatever. But with chill guy, you would need to show a little bit of patience before jumping into it, in my opinion. Okay. And it's here. Am I short or am I long? I'm long, some micro caps, low caps. That's about it. Mubarak. Not bad. It's very similar chart to chill guy in a way, but it's still not on the daily resistance. But yeah, if you were to long Mubarak, this would be your, like, you might not even get there because of the daily 200s. But again, this is where I would, if I was long here and we reach 2 cents or so, I'll be closing my long on Mubarak. The 4-hour looks pretty clean. We had the nice breakout, chill, chop, respect the 200s, build a base. Now it looks like it's building that nice move up. That's essentially what the 4-hour is showing. That it's building a move to the upside for Mubarak. Now it's all about getting above the 300 MA on the 12-hour. Once you get that close, it's all like, again, the daily 200s is where I'm really focused at. This is the real resistance point for you when you're looking at this. So you may not even catch that big of a move with it, just depending on market conditions, really. And I feel like there are better alts to play. Yeah. I mean, the stats on it is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So yeah, you may have something here with Mubarak, but just I would have a stop around what do you call it, 0.013, give or take, and you're trying to catch a move to 0.018, potentially 2 cents. Okay, any other comments, guys? Any other things you want me to look at? Any other charts? Just let me know in the chat. I'm paying attention to the chat. Well, both chats. All right. I guess I looked at everyone's coins for today. So before I close off today's stream, guys, I just want to let you know, like, the market is always designed to bring opportunities and put it in front of your face. Like, during this whole downtrend, we saw a lot of coins pump, a lot, and a lot of them did very well. Now you have the option. You have the option. 1 second, let me hear. APT is not bad, but it's right on the 12-hour resistance. You, like, with APT, you may catch like a 15% move potentially. If we get above the 12-hour resistance and we move to the daily resistance, you can catch a 50% move on APT. But ultimately, it's not something I would like. Look, guys, I don't want to be a downer, okay? But APT is trading below its October 10 wick. This is not good. Any alt trading below the October 10 wick is not a good sign. We'll probably pump to it, reject, and go back down. In my opinion, if you have any alts that are trading way below the October 10 wick, get the fuck out of them. Forget them, throw them out. This is the issue that we have. We get so attached, like, a lot of people are attached to coins that they don't want to sell, but they hate that they're still holding those fucking coins. This is the situation with a lot of people right now in crypto. Is like, I bought shit that I thought was going to do well, and it didn't do well, and now I'm down so much on it, and I hate that I'm holding this fucking shit that I bought. And they don't want to sell what they hate because they're just sitting on what if. But the truth is, going back to what I was saying earlier, there is a lot of opportunities right in front of us in the market. The market is always designed to present opportunities, whether we are looking for them or not. You just have to keep a pulse on everything. Like, for example, in on-chain stuff, like, you had the Penguin, right? Or I think it was Penguin or whatever, that ran up from fucking 15k market cap to like 150 million market cap, right? We've had countless fucking on-chain stuff go from below 100k market cap to like 20 million market cap, 5 million market cap, or whatever. You had Unk, you had Dr. Pigeon, you had, again, Penguin, what you had the Goblin coin, and all that type of stuff. So there are opportunities. It's just like, but the issue is, a lot of people want to ride those opportunities the same way they rode that bull trend, and that it doesn't work that way, guys. We're not in that market condition where you can just openly ride something like a meme coin to a billion market cap. The truth is, we're not in that mindset. We're not in that condition. So, but there are opportunities. Again, if you bought something at 100k, went to 20 million in this market condition, fucking take the profit and move on. More than likely, it's going to retrace. Now, if you look at Penguin that went to 100 million market cap, it's now way below 10 million market cap. So, again, Don't bag hold your things. There are a lot of opportunities to trade and make money in this market, as they're not gonna stop. Like, look at Lab. How many times has Lab showed up on the fucking scanner? How many times? We've seen Lab so many fucking times show up on the scanner. And look at it. It went from 12 cents in this market condition to fucking $4.20. Okay? My point being is, when you are trading this market, you have two options. Either you look for opportunities to make money, or you can sit with the crowd and bitch about how the market is shit. The option is yours. But keep in mind, carrying the mindset with you that the market is shit is a very double-edged sword, like, because you can carry on that mindset for far too long that you would potentially miss the uptrend and not make any money, or good money that you should be making. So CT, when I open CT, it's just a bunch of people shitting on each other nonstop. This, that. Now it's like, if you post a positive PNL on CT, they get mad at you. How dare you make a profitable trade? You are fucking LARPing. You made money in this market. You're a fucking LARP. It's like, they don't, because they're not profiting, because they're losing money, because they're losing their mind, they have this mindset that they expect you to stay in that mindset. And the truth is that I'm showing you guys that there are fucking opportunities in this market. There's always money to be made. You look at the stock market, everyone's talking about the stock market, Intel doing this, Intel doing that, Intel doing that. But why isn't no one talking about how we had a fucking coin right in front of our face print a fucking 3,600% return in a span of 2 months, but people are talking about the S&P made a new all-time high, bro. Oh, did you see Intel? It pumped 200%. Oh, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you fucking pussy. Alright? You have shit and that's slapping your fucking face with 3,000+%, and you are too much of a pussy to trade it because Binance Cartel is scamming it. Guess what? Every market is a fucking scam. Every market is a fucking scam. The S&P should be fucking down right now because the majority of the companies are down on the S&P, but it's only a fucking handful that's carrying it to new all-time highs. Wake up. Everything is a fucking scam. All right? So the moment, like, there's no difference between trading on perp futures than on-chain trading at this point. You have exchanges bundling up the supply as usual, and then they scam pump it like crazy, right? That happens with meme coins. That happens with futures, right? You think that doesn't fucking happen in the stock market? Where do you guys think they got the idea from in the first place? Let me show you what a fucking bundle looks like in the stock market, fellas. Look at this fucking shit bundle. They bundled fucking Avia's Budget, fucking car company, car rental company. Look when they bundled it. End of February, made it pump fucking 800%. Institutional traders fucking bundled this shit. They scam pumped it and then they rugged it. Alright? This happens in every market. The question you need to ask yourself, what am I good at? What market am I good at? Am I good at perps? Am I good at on-chain? Am I good at equities? Am I good at options? Am I good at this? Am I good at that? Whatever you're good at, just fucking trade it, make your money and get the fuck out. Because everything's a fucking scam at the end of the day. If they can bundle and rug on equities, they're gonna be able to bundle and rug on crypto. They're gonna bundle and rug on on-chain. It's just how the market moves. Everything gets bundled, everything gets scam pumped, everything gets rugged. Whatever market you enter, this has been the case. Like, look, by the way, Look at gold. Gold got fucking bundled by China, scam buying everything. They hoarded all the supply because they want to combat the US, and now it's gonna fucking tumble. All right, everything gets bundled. Everything, and when everything gets bundled, when something gets bundled, a scam pumps, and then when a scam pumps, that's when you should be taking profit and moving the fuck on because they're gonna get rubbed, right? So the CT movement right now is like if you post the PNL, they're going to call you a lark. They're gonna call you poor. They're gonna call you this. They're gonna call you that because they are pushing their own limitations onto you because they are a fucking loser. They expect you to be a fucking loser. No one in a loser's mind, no one is allowed to be a winner around them because if they're losing, everyone else is losing. So your best bet is to avoid these type of people. Get the fuck, like, move away from them. Don't even engage with them. Don't even talk to them. Who the fuck are they? At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Now, what they're some guy who was bored out of nowhere created some app to track every hyperliquid PNL. Imagine that. Like it has by the way, it's this as bullish as I am on hyperliquid as a product. The community of hyperliquid is, there's a few people that are really rotten, like really bad actors that are going to be the downfall of this community when next cycle comes and we're selling our hype, right? Because we love trading on decentralized exchanges. We want to do that and all that stuff. But there's a lot of people that split their wallets because they're not stupid. They've been in crypto for a very long time and they know never put your hard-earned earnings in a perpetual exchange because they rug. They could, especially if you use cross margin, you can lose everything. So a lot of people will not put everything on hyperliquid. So I've been seeing this trend where it's like every single person that posts a hyperliquid PNL is be like, oh, this guy traded for this amount, this guy traded for this amount, this guy's this guy's that, this guy. What they are doing now is, now people, no one wants to post a hyperliquid PNL. No one. This is effectively shifting people onto other decentralized exchanges where the community is not hunting down its traders. It's like you're not allowed to trade and make money in hyperliquid unless you are trading with $1 million plus, which is retarded. The whole point of hyperliquid was it was created so everyone and anyone can have access to financial products regardless of your net worth. So for them to shit on people that have lower net worth or just learning to trade, it is actually going to be the reason why the hyperliquid community is going to die at the end of next bull cycle. This type of behavior is a major turnoff for traders. Even like the big traders, they have unknown wallets. They will trade on hyperliquid. They don't want to be tracked. No one wants to be tracked. No one wants to be pocket watched. But we have now enabled a certain type of behavior of pocket watching, which is going to be the reason why a lot of people are going to avoid hyperliquid or hide their PNLs that they have on hyperliquid so no one knows what the fuck they're doing, right? Now, when I look at these people, they have this mindset, and this is really important before I end the stream. There is, I don't know if you guys heard of this, the law of the ceiling, right? The law of the ceiling means the limitations that you put yourself, that you put in your mind, is really where you're going to stop. If you think that, okay, I have 100 grand and the most I can make out of it is 500 grand, you put that ceiling in your head and that's it. As a you will likely not even reach that 500 grand and you have limited your performance. And this is what I'm seeing now in on CT's mindset and psychology, is they have, without realizing, they have put a limitation, they have put a ceiling on how far they can go. And this is why you need to kind of avoid interacting with now a lot of people, because misery loves company, so they'll drag you down. They will actually drag you down. So what you need to do is, one, adjust your mindset to have a high ceiling. The Believe me, guys, believe me, I have witnessed and I have seen people with $1,000 turn into multi-millionaires in one bull cycle. It happens every cycle. You just need to believe it and not put a ceiling on your mindset. I promise you that. That ceiling right now that everyone in CT has on themselves is what's going to drag them down. But if you remove that ceiling from your mindset and truly believe, I am going to be a multi-millionaire, I am going to achieve that P&L that I put for myself, and I am going to do this and I'm going to do that, and you put a high ceiling for yourself, then you need to truly believe it, and you will actually achieve that ceiling. It's just a matter of watching out who you associate with. So for me, I've been taking kind of a step back from CT, because every time I open it, it's just negative, 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 and there's very, very little people actually posting good stuff and keeping an open mind. Even though the market is bearish and the data is not good and everything is not good, I still am on the other side of things, be like, hey, just because we have problems today does not mean those problems cannot be solved. So this is where I have my delusional optimism in my head, be like, yeah, shit is bad right now, but shit is gonna get a lot better in the future for us. Just like how people be like, oh, AI is gonna replace jobs, AI is gonna do this, people are gonna do that, people is gonna do that, and yada yada and so forth. The truth of the matter is, after using AI for so long, AI, yes, is capable of doing things, but AI is as retarded as the user. And what I'm seeing now is a lot of people that are using AI are really retarded. So it's not going to be replacing people's jobs. It's more like people that have comprehension issues, that can't read, that can't write, that can't do these things properly, are not going to be able to use AI properly. So this is where I'm looking at it. Now, the people that actually get educated and actually pick up a degree, actually pick up things, that's when AI is going to benefit them so fucking much, guys. Because if you are smart in your field, like let's say you're a doctor, right? Like I was talking to someone who is an actual doctor in my city, and he was telling me he's using AI in the hospital. But how are they using AI? They're not using AI to treat patients. They know how to treat the patient. They know what the issue with the patient is. They know all of that. But what many people don't know about doctors is that after they see a patient, they need to go into the office and update their charts, update their notes, update their files. And that's where actually the majority of the time goes for the doctor. So what are they doing is they're treating the patient, they're making notes down, and then they're using AI to fill out the chart for them so they could speed run how many patients they see so they can improve their service. So again, don't fall for the doomer mindset. The doomer only puts a ceiling on their limitations. You should have a delusional optimistic mindset, because at the end of the day, if a nuclear war was, they announced a nuclear war and the market tanks fucking 50%, fucking bid. Fucking bid. Just go fucking long. Who gives a fuck? Because if a nuclear war happens and we all die, then we're all dead. Your long gets liquidated, it doesn't fucking matter. You're dead, it doesn't fucking matter. But if a nuclear war was announced and you bid that bottom and now we don't actually get a nuclear war, guess what? You just made fucking generational money. So no matter what the situation is, no matter what happens and all that stuff, we have always figured it out. We've always survived, and we've always come back stronger, and we've always gone up higher. That has not changed in human behavior, human psychology for since the inception of fucking cavemen. And AI is not going to be the thing that holds us back from continuing to advance ourselves. Yes, we have risks with it. Yes, we have all of that shit happening with it, but that's going to change and it's going to get better. That's how you should keep the mindset. Avoid the CT people with the negative mindset. Always have a delusional optimism that things will get better, and things will get better. And remove any mindset ceilings you put for yourself. Even if you're poor today, I don't care if you're, I don't say poor, I say broke, right? Poor is a mindset. You can be a multi-millionaire and still be spiritually broken or spiritually lost and have a poor mindset and lose everything. It's the people that don't have nothing but still walk with the aura of a wealthy person that are fucking strong, guys. Because those people cannot be broken. So always have that mindset for yourself, and I promise you, everything that you want to achieve will be achieved. There's a reason why it's in your head. So avoid those negative people on CT. Even me, I've cut down a lot of them. They're just like, when I was telling them, hey, the top is here and everything, take your profit, they got greedy. And when I told them, bid the, like, we should go along here, we've dropped a lot, they got scared. Those type of people are not gonna help you. So figure out who you can hang around with, even if it's two people, one person, or a small crew or small community, whatever. Hang out with them as long as the mindset is the same. The mindset of making it, the mindset of we're gonna be millionaires, the mindset that we're going to achieve something great here. Those are the people you want to be around with, because those are the people that are going to take you far in life. But if you surround yourselves with the losers, you're going to lose. This is it. Yeah, Steve, the group chat, there's a reason why I actually don't shield the group chat very often, or to a lot of people, is because, look, I don't need everyone on CT to be in my group chat. That's just overwhelming. I just want to create something where people with similar mindset will come and enjoy and stay and learn and grow. Now, I said this in the group chat. Everyone in there, except for one dickhead, has improved. Everyone has improved. Everyone has slowly gotten better. Everyone has made profit, has expanded, has taken risk management more seriously and everything. And we are little by little improving week after week, week after week. And that's all that matters. It's not that we're motivated, is the fact that we are fucking consistent. We consistently show up. We consistently learn. We don't let one loss take us back. It's just a fucking loss. We always pushed up higher and higher and further and further. And that's what counts. So this is it. You guys, don't put a ceiling on your mind. Don't put a ceiling on your goals. Don't put a ceiling on where you can go with your trading, because you're only limiting yourself. Last but not least, I am in the process of, well, now with PerpFlow, the latest update is I'm running now two different, as you guys know, two different scanners, but now the main production scanner is running another scan strategy by it, but it's shadow evaluating it. So I'm gonna shadow evaluate this new strategy for the next month and assess the data and go from there. But the main change that I'm making is I am going to have it, instead of for 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. scans, it's going to update the scans every hour. So it's scanning 24/7, and every hour the list will change based on the best setups and the flows that are coming in, right? I'm thinking about that, or I'm thinking about how I could integrate a method where it scans the market properly, but it keeps it updated throughout the day, and then at the daily close it gives a performance report based on what showed up throughout the day and how well it did, and yada yada and so forth. So that's the main change. The other change that I'm making, I know I spoke about this in the group chat, I know this is not sexy, but I'm not looking for sexy here, right? Everyone talks about Hyperliquid, but I'm more convinced at the moment that if you are an on-chain trader, you're gonna trade on Pump Fund, okay? You're gonna look for meme coins launched on Pump Fund. If you are a perp trader, futures trader, you're gonna look at the flows that the Binance and all of them are doing, so you can find the next, scam that they're gonna pump, just like Pump Fund, right? And you're gonna trade that. The issue is most of us cannot trade on Binance or Bybit because of KYC. So this is where Esther comes into play. Esther has the majority of the listings that are on Binance and Bybit. So in the future, I'm thinking about integrating Esther Hyperliquid into PerpFlow, so you could trade these scans and everything on Esther and Hyperliquid, right? Mainly Esther, because Esther has these low caps. Like, for example, all these low caps, the majority of them are on Esther. I think I can pull it up right here. Let me see here. Let me pull it out here. Give me a second. Okay. So, Blue AI. Blue AI is not on a lot of exchanges, but it's on Esther. So if you want to catch the scam, you can trade on Esther. Right? That's just an example. Huawei as well. Now, let's see if TST is there. Right? Allo is there. Tag is there. TAC is there. Right? Broccoli is there. Rave is there too. Right? What else? Siren is there. Aria is there. These were all the big scams. What else? Lab is there. Okay. What else? Elsa. Let's see if Elsa is there. Elsa is there. There we go. What else? FHE. FHE is there. Naurus is there. Bass is there. What else? CYS is there. These are all low cap scam pumps that we are potentially seeing and have seen, right? And they are all on Esther, guys. Every single fucking shit that they are scam pumping on Binance and Bybit and BitGet and all this, they're all on Esther. They're not on any other decentralized exchange except for Esther, right? And I don't like Esther. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't like Esther, right? But for me, I'm all about making money. I don't give a fuck, okay? So this is why I'm integrating Esther, because a lot of the shit that's coming up on the scanner is not on Hyperliquid. It's not on a lot of exchanges, centralized exchanges, but they are on Binance, they are on Bybit, and those are hard to get into. So what's the solution? The solution is to trade them on Esther with using PerpFlow, right? So this is why I'm gonna be mainly integrating Esther as a start before I start integrating Hyperliquid. And as well, like, look, all the stocks are already on Esther as well, right? They keep adding more and more stocks, but everything that we are seeing is already there. So this is the update that I have for PerpFlow that I wanted to share with you guys. We've been streaming for about 2 hours or so now. But yeah, I'm gonna wait here for a second. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, I'll close it out. All right. Well, let me take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Join this. I put in the chat my Telegram channel. You guys can join. All right. Thank you guys for joining. Really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Let's have a great fucking week.
Maybe in this song, you shouldn't start by saying,
Nigga, I said it, I know that you mad. I've emptied the clip over friendlier jabs. You mentioned my seed and I deal with his dad. I gotta go bad, I gotta go bad. Yeah, drop a 50 bag for the mob in a spot. Drop a 50 bag, 29 for the thought. I was really trying to keep it PG. I was really trying to keep it PG. If you had a set, they give your ass a DP. But you civilian gang in real life, you PC. You know who really bang except my nigga YG. You know who really bang except my nigga Chuck T. You know who even bang except out there is CB. And nigga Cole losing sleep on this, it ain't me. You better have some paperwork or that shit fake T. Can't be rapping about no ratting that we can't read. I mean it's true, a nigga slimy for my AP. Just like how Metro nigga slime for his main squeeze. Out here begging for attention, nigga say please. Always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You just acting like an activist, it's make believe. Don't even go back to your hood and plant no money trees. Say you hate the girls I fuck, but what you really mean? I been with black and white and everything that's in between. You the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen. And hit vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem. On some Bobby shit, I wanna know what Whitney need. All that puppy love was over in y'all late teens. Why you never hold your son and tell him say cheese? We could've left the kids out of this, don't blame me. You a dog and you know it, you just play sweet. Your baby mama cash was always screaming, save me. You did it dirty all your life, you tryna make peace. I heard that one of them little kids might be day free. Don't make it day freeze. Cause if your GM is your BM secret BD, then this is all making plenty fucking sense to me. Hey, let that shorty breathe. Shake that ass, bitch. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. Shake that ass for Drake. Now shake that ass for free. Yeah. We're not that kind of free. I'm talking about my nigga Dave. Yo man, a Lil K. We call that shit a mini Drake. He always said I overlooked him. I was staring straight. These bars go over Kenny head no matter what I say. I know you like to keep it short, so let me paraphrase. Knew it was smoke when Abel hit us with the serenade. Niggas say, almost started reaching for my waist. Drop a 50 bag for the mob in a spot. Drop a 50 bag, 29 for the thought. I was really trying to keep it. Yeah, let me stop playing around and take this shit serious, like. Niggas is a joke, I take it serious though. Yeah, look. If Drake shooters doing TikToks, nigga really shooting in your gang, that's peace, brother. Y'all ain't getting shit shot, nigga. Can't listen to the stick talking falsetto, saving for a hip hop, nigga. You don't even be at home, dog. You a souvenir out the gift shop, nigga. Still mad about that one hoe. We ain't even fuck, I just lip lock with her. I get active when it's wartime. I ain't even really let my dick drop, nigga. What the fuck I heard Rick drop, nigga. Talking something about a nose job, nigga. Ozempic got a side effect of jealousy and doubt. I never told y'all niggas. Put a nigga in the bars, let a nigga rock, kinda like your old job, nigga. House sitting on some land, but it's out where no one even really know y'all niggas. Bitches gotta drive 2 hours for you pay them just to give a blowjob, nigga. Must've started up a snowball, cause my last record deal was 400 ends. These days, that's a low bar, nigga. Hey, who's next on the list? Which one of my so-called niggas? Which one of my so-called niggas? Which one of my so-called niggas need a sheriff in a clip? Always knew I had to smoke y'all niggas. Good kid, Mad City van, Will pot the latch and make the door slide. Tears running down my cheek, laughing at you pussy dying, it's a war cry. Weekend music getting played in all the spots where boys got a little more pride. That's why all your friends dip into Atlanta paying just to find a tour guide. Abel run your fucking bread, need need to buy some more chains for some more guys. Let me find another street nigga I could take to the game courtside. Let me get a used Ferrari for a rapper, take the nigga on a horse ride. Anything to take a spotlight off the fact the boss is a drugged out little punk sissy from the north side. Rock him talking shit again. Gas cause you hit my being first, nigga. Do the math who I was hitting in. I ain't even know you rap still cause they only talking about your fit again. Probably gotta have a kid again for you think of dropping any shit again. Even when you do drop, they gon' say you should've modeled cause it's mid again. Smoking 50 but they should've put you on the first one trying to get it in. Ask Spring if this a good idea the next time you cut it in a bed again. She'll even tell your leader boy alone before you get your head split again. Pluto shit made me sick to my stomach, we ain't never really been through it. Lil Wayne, he a fucking lame, so I know he had to be an influence. These niggas had a plan and they finally found a way to rope you into it. 2 separate albums dissing, I just did the Kim to it. Niggas skim through it. Me and Savage had the hoes dripping wet at shows, almost had to swim to it. K-Dot shit is only hitting hard when Baby King put his pen to it. Ross calling me the white boy and the shit kinda got a ring to it. Cause all these rappers waving white flags while the whole fucking club sing to it. Murder scene on your man tonight, then come to vigil with the candlelight. Body at the fucking body and you know Rick reading my Miranda rights. I'm going on vacation, I hope next time y'all plan it right. Cause you gotta pay for saying my name. Guess now niggas understand the price, man. What? Hey, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Where's your uncle at? Cause I wanna talk to the man in the house. West Coast niggas do phase, right? Come get this ass whooping, I'm handing them out. You wanna take off for real? Then come get his legacy out of my house. A cease and desist is for hoes. Can't listen to lies that come out of your mouth. You caught a 2-pack of steak and begged them to sue me and get that shit down. I'm losing perspective on beef. Boy went to send beat and I kill you for fun. Your daddy got robbed by Top. You stunning and Wayne like father like son. And Anthony set up the plays. Kojo be charging you double for none. They shook about what I'ma say. But texting your phone like we already won. You tell me what I shouldn't say. But fucking my nigga, it's already done. We already know it's a 20v1. We already know why you went number 1. It's clearly because of the boy. The honorable thing is to give me the loot. You right about fuck the big 3. It's only Big D in this video proof. My son should go play at the park. 2 light-skinned kids, this shit would be cute. Unless you don't wanna be seen with anyone that isn't blacker than you. We get it, we got it. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. We get that you like to put gin in your juice. We get that you think that you bishop and juice. When you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense cause she bigger than you? Your back is up against the curb. You digging for dirt, she be digging for proof. Why did you move to New York? Is it cause you living that bachelor life? Proposed in 2015, but don't wanna make her your actual wife. I'm guessing this wedding ain't happening right, cause we know the girls that you actually like. The darkest secrets are coming to light. It's all on your face like what happened to Mike. Oh shit, it's all making sense. Maybe I'm Prince and you actually Mike. Michael was praying his features would change, so people believe that he's actually white. Top will make you do features for change. Get on pop records and rap for the whites. And wait, you say your brother Jermaine, but you only here to stay out of the light. Oh shit, just follow me right, cause nothing you saying could bother me right. I get off the plane and nothing has changed. I headed to Delilah with all of my ice. Headed to Delilah with all of my ice. Headed to Delilah with all of my ice. This shit gotta be over by now for anyone out here that's calling it right. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. There's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to hide, you know what I mean. They hired a crisis management team to clean up the